Harley.
Hello, everybody listening.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to Sonder and Salt, the weekly food podcast about the magic of eating. Appreciate that. Felt nostalgic to say it by myself.
Oh, give me a break. Anyways.
Felt like the good old days.
Oh,
you know?
please.
If you have been rocking with us since the good old days and you've been listening to this podcast now for over a year, I may say, and you have not left us a rating and review, I'm not sure why. Right.
I'm not going to say anything.
At this point, I'm not really sure why. So
just get it done.
Yep. If you have...
Please and thank you.
If you come back for more, please go and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and also on Spotify. You can tap where the stars are on Spotify and scroll right down to the bottom of the Sonder and Salt page on Apple, and you can write a little something. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what your favourite type of rice is if you listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
Let us know something. Let us know which episode you are vibing with. But we really do appreciate it, and it really does help with the reach of this podcast to receive those ratings and reviews. Reviews, things we review and rate highly. Food highlight of the week.
So this week, my food highlight is teriyaki duck with rice and a little bit of spinach.
Where you get that?
No, you're looking at me a bit funny. That's none of your business.
Where you get that?
None of your business. Don't worry. That's basically what I had. So there is a place, and I've mentioned it before, in Woodford called Komi, Japanese sushi restaurant, and they've got like Komi Express. I used to bang them off during the pandemic. I would order bubble tea from them, and they also had a couple of other bits and bobs like the chicken karaage and the prawn tempura that I used to like. Anywho's, I ordered their duck teriyaki with rice because I couldn't get the udon noodle duck stir fry, which I used to love, and it was just so nice.
I love duck.
It was so good. It had juicy bits of duck, then it had like the skin was crisp. The teriyaki sauce wasn't like overpowering or too tart. Sometimes I find teriyaki to be quite sweet. It's got a tang. Yeah, and it just gets burdensome on the tongue. It was just so good. It was so good. It was a very quick evening takeaway one evening. I'm not gonna say when because Harley is burning a hole into the side of my head.
Never heard about it before, you know.
Yeah, but
for someone who's been on a meal plan.
So right. About that day I had to do the best I could with what I've. It was the roast duck donburi, $10.95, roast teriyaki boneless duck on rice served with spinach and pickle. It's not gluten-free because teriyaki contains soy, which is not gluten-free, but it's gluten avoidant, and it was just so nice. It was just so nice. So I really enjoyed it. That is my highlight. I've been banging off Komi for a while, so if you live on the east side of that London, you can check them out. They'll probably pop up on your delivery, Uber Eats, and maybe like Just Eat.
So you ordered it?
I didn't order it. Somebody else did, and I had a bit. That's what I'm going to say on that.
Right, lies and deception. My food highlight of the week is a breakfast food that I've been enjoying. I too have been trying to, eat a little bit more mindfully, and I was banging off omelettes for like I think 4 days in a row. And I just
got tired
it up to my eyeballs of omelettes. And I was like, this cannot be life.
Yeah.
And I remembered, I opened the cupboard and there was a vision of tomato in front of me. Passata is not what you use to make shakshuka, but it's what I had. I was doing what I had with what I got.
Best you can with what you got.
So that day, it was just egg in tomato, but it did what it had to do. Then I did a shop. Yeah. And I got my favourite tinned cherry tomatoes. I like the tinned cherry tomatoes for the shakshuka, especially like this is speedy shakshuka. This is not like authentic, slow cooked. Some people will cook down that tomato sauce for like ages and then you throw the egg in. This was like the whole thing one to done in 15-20 minutes, like simple things.
Eggs and tomato sauce.
Eggs and tomato sauce, heavily seasoned. Started down with a little bit of chopped onion, a little bit of garlic. Let the ancestors guide me with the seasonings. I added some oregano, smoked paprika. I think I added some cayenne and some chili flakes as well. I also added some garlic granules. I don't know why garlic granules just keep coming to hand lately, even when I've added garlic. But
I think I've said this before. I like to use a bit of both. Yeah. I love fresh garlic, and then I find garlic granules to add a level of potency. Yeah. That I really enjoy.
A little kick.
Yeah.
Just let that cook down for a little bit. Once it starts to bubble, I then smush down the little tomatoes so that they're not so whole by the time you finish with it. Make my little pockets in my shakshuks and put my eggs in. I'm not a runny egg babe. I don't mind a jammy-ish egg. Yeah. So I always put the lid on so I can steam the egg from top to bottom. Obviously, if you want it to be super, super runny, you can just leave the lid off because it will just cook from the bottom. But then when it's just before I close the lid, I sprinkle a little dry parsley on top of both my egg bits. Let that cook. By the time that's literally on for a couple of minutes, I've made the toast. Everything's ready to go. I did, however, forget that you're basically poaching, boiling an egg, and that I was a little bit too ravenous.
Oh.
And I like cut into steaming egg and put it in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
And the roof of
but
my
you
mouth.
like, anyway, I don't feel sorry for you.
I like hot food.
You like,
the roof of my mouth is still recovering.
I think there was a meal I was eating this week and I was voice noting you.
You
and I was
were
getting irritated.
You said it was really hot.
It was too hot.
Probably that teriyaki chicken. I didn't know what you was eating. Teriyaki duck.
Sweetheart. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. Should check the group chat and find out what other lies you were telling me.
So, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? We're talking about, generally, it's a long food highlights of the week, kind of food highlights of life kind of episode.
One of my favourite, it's not a cookbook, it is like a food anthology. It's actually called an annotated guide. And it is called Beep, That's Delicious. Gonna censor this. Beep, That's Delicious. An annotated guide to eating well by Action Bronson. So he had a cooking, like not a cooking show, it was a food show, a food exploration show on Vice called Beep, That's Delicious.
Yeah.
And actually from watching him on YouTube, I absolutely fell in love with Mayhem Lauren. Mayhem had a show on Munchies. And he's just so New York, and I love his vibe, and he just kind of does what he wants. A lot of the food that he cooks looks like it's hitting. I think he made like a crab or lobster mac and cheese or something one time. He's made a few things, but I love Mayhem Lauren, if you're watching, if you're listening. But no, I love him. But yeah, this is one of my favourite food books that I've got. I got this when I was working back in the day, and it was like I used to get free books and I ordered it, and it's just such because it's not a cookbook and it's literally like an ode to food. It's his entire experience, the things that he loves, the places that he loves, how he has like fallen in love with certain things, how he likes to eat certain things. He's got a page about crispy broccoli in here.
Yeah, I think we referred to this book in the pizza episode, didn't we?
I think so.
But we definitely used it as part of our
research.
A
New York, there it is, a New York slice, and
he
kind of talks about his experience and like what he likes. But it's a super, super cute book. If you like food, I would definitely recommend it, and you can check him out on YouTube if you're interested in watching his show. He's got a page here called Incredible Pairings, and he says that these are the great little nuances of life, the partnerships, the special this that always goes with that, the Sonders to the salts, you know? You're so cute, isn't it? He's got a couple on here. He's got about 10 or so of things that he loves to eat in certain places or with certain things. So a couple of the ones on here that sound like a little bit of me. This one sounds like something that you would do. 10 tubs of ice cream with depression.
Yes.
Yeah. 10 tubs of ice cream with depression. When I'm depressed, I don't eat. As we said on our Eat Your Feelings, How to Eat Your Feelings episode, which you can find over at sonderandsalt.com. Ting and a beef patty. So ting is a grapefruit soda drink, basically, and then a Jamaican beef patty.
That's not my pairing just because I don't like beef patties.
Oh yeah, you don't eat beef.
No. But I can imagine it works.
Yeah. He's got here the iced tea in the big styrofoam cup or big plastic takeout container that you get delivered with New York City Chinese food. Right. Very specific.
Yeah, very specific.
Very specific. So, and that's probably sweet tea that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they love that stuff over there. Takeout eaten off the hood of the car. Can't say I relate. Eating a takeaway, on the front of the car.
Americans love doing stuff on the car.
They do. They like to be on the block. So, like, depending on where you live, they really do love that. White truffles and vanilla soft serve, and chocolate and lemon Italian ice in the same cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple cute ones, but we've got our own.
Yeah, so we're just gonna reel through some of our own incredible pairings as inspired by Action Bronson, and just kind of we'll go one for one.
The chocolate and lemon Italian ice in the same cup. My one that would be similar to that is strawberry and lemon sorbet at the beach. Whenever I go on a beach holiday and they've got like a little sorbet ice cream stand, I have to get strawberry and lemon together specifically. I love that pairing.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. I don't know what it is. And I guess that's why I try to like the strawberry lemonade at McDonald's, but it doesn't hit the same.
Oh, okay.
But anything strawberry and lemon.
Like a slushy, isn't it?
It's a slushy. I love a slushy, but they do like, it's a lemon slushy with a drizzle of strawberry syrup. And sometimes they just don't give you enough. Ooh. And it's a bit sweet.
See, what I like on that thread is a lemon ice with strawberry sauce.
Lemon ice. Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
Probably that's £6.
Oh, like at the
ice cream van.
At the ice cream van. Yeah. Lemon and strawberry sorbet. But it has to be like in the cone or in the cup, and I have to be on the beach. It's literally melting, and it's just, I just love it. I've got so many pictures of that combination on my phone. Yeah. I try and throw one up on the story. Yeah. And I absolutely love it. Perfect.
Okay. I don't have a ice cream combo, but we'll just start with something sweet. My sweet combo, 10 out of 10 hits every time, no matter what the mood. Back of the bus. It takes me to the back of the bus.
Okay, I was going to say sticky toffee pudding, but now you've thrown me off.
No. So it's a Rubicon mango carton, preferably with all the sugar in from back in the day. A bag of Sensation sweet chili crisps, and a white bueno.
This is your period meal?
No, it's my after school combo. Oh. It's my like sweet shop combo.
Oh, yeah. You said
my literal like.
You said this in Eat Your Feelings.
Yeah, it's really for sweet shop. Yeah, Rubicon mango, sweet chili crisp, and a white bueno.
I do like a Thai sweet chili with. I used to love it with a Kit Kat and a Ribena. Yeah, that was a really good combo.
Good little combo there. That's my. I think that's a good sweet combo. What else you got?
A little bit left. Cold fried chicken and ketchup. I love cold fried chicken, and I think this is all of the times when we'd go on like family holidays and we'd be on the plane and they would fry chicken and bring hardo bread. But so I like cold fried chicken. It can't be from anywhere. Okay. It has to be homemade fried chicken. Probably somebody in my family has made that fried chicken.
We've got that clip up where it's like the more animosity towards the fried chicken, the better it tastes.
I don't care what went into it. It tastes fantastic. But I love it when it's cold and it's like well seasoned, and I just have it with some ketchup. I don't know what it is about, even down to the texture of the chicken. I absolutely love cold fried chicken and ketchup. I can just eat it just like that.
I love cold fried chicken.
Oh, so it's the ketchup that you're squeezing up your face?
Yeah, I don't need ketchup.
Oh.
I can only cook with ketchup.
Look, I just knew it. Don't need ketchup, but I do it. I use it for this, that, and the first.
Because cooking with ketchup is not ketchup.
Fair enough.
It's sweet, like it's sweet salt. Yeah. Sourish flavor.
Yeah.
And the smell of ketchup, like chicken and chips ketchup. I think the thing that puts me off most about ketchup, your ketchup might not bother me, that combo. If I sat next to you, it might be okay. But I think when ketchup hits like chicken or anything that's hot, and you end up the smell of hot ketchup.
Okay, and it's like the tang of it.
Oh my God. It will actually make me gag.
But if you're talking about chicken shop ketchup, that stuff is like the cheapest stuff with the highest amounts of vinegar.
And then like I've had to wash up plates just, especially with the job I used to have, we used to do lots of recipes and sauces and stuff, and have to wash up a plate with ketchup. And I
don't like that. I do know the smell you're talking about. It's like
when the hot water hits the ketchup.
Yeah, when it's just been like. Do you know what? Funnily enough, I actually don't like the smell of food when I'm not eating or about to eat. Once I've eaten and I'm satiated, the smell of cooked food
just needs to go.
It's nauseating. Yeah, I can't stand it.
Yeah, no, not a bit of me. Not a bit of me. One that you kind of predicted there from the list in the book. Yeah. Heartbreak. Like a good on.
Bearing in mind these are incredible pairings that we're talking about. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go through rough to get to smooth. A good soul crushing heartbreak. Yeah. And some Walker's cheese and onion crisps.
This is when Harley was walking around eating cheese and onion crisps for months on end, and her breath was kicking off.
Cheese and onion crisp and a Starbucks, and I was actually probably borderline. You know, there's kind of that stereotypical person who works in like Vogue head office, like Devil Wears Prada, like doesn't have time to eat, doesn't have time to do anything. I had time to do everything. I just was eating like I smoked 20 a day. I don't know, heartbreak and there's nothing you can go through. Cheese and onion crisp can't fix.
I lose all appetite when I'm heartbroken. When I'm going through anything, my appetite goes out the window.
It's not hunger. It's the hand in the bag.
It feels quite like feeling sorry for myself. Kind of. Yeah. That's what I can just
and cheese and onion crisps are like the most meal-like crisps. They're the most like, to me, they're the most savoury of crisps. So it's like I'm not getting hungry because I'm getting that little tang of I've eaten something. If you gave me, I don't know, if you left me with a bar of chocolate, it's not going to hit the same for me personally. But
so it has to be. Is there any specific crisp?
Walker's, just regular. The only thing I don't like about the regular flavors is that they don't come in like family bags.
Yeah,
so you've got to buy a multi-pack. And then
that's why you got to upgrade, babe. You don't like Tyrrells, do you?
I don't like Tyrrells.
I know you don't.
I like kettle chips.
Yeah, kettle.
I like the other Walker's crisps.
Why don't you like Tyrrells?
I find them too oily.
I can, yeah.
They're too oily. I think kettle, you get the good crunch that you get with Tyrrells. You just don't have all the oil in the crisp.
I feel like Tyrrells are slightly thicker, and the potato slices hold a bit more oil. Yeah.
But those flavors though, the cheese and onion is too fancy. It tastes like cheese and onion. I don't need cheese and onion.
Spring onion.
Mature cheddar.
Yeah.
Sun crusted, dried in the sun, only ever baked. I don't need that. I need fried, covered in cheese and onion dust.
Okay, fair enough. Another thing that I love combination is Victoria sponge cake and hot chocolate. It typically is a Victoria sponge cake from Marks and Spencer's. Yeah. Me, my mum and my cousin, we used to have this combination a lot. It used to be like our little thing. And it was that Victoria sponge cake with, it probably was something like Dairy Milk or Galaxy hot chocolate.
Powder one at home.
Yeah. So not too rich because I actually like the cheap stuff. Okay. I like a Dairy Milk hot chocolate. Yeah. That's my preference. Made with, at this time, it could have very well have been Dairy Milk that we were using. Can't be sure, but yeah, really nice and creamy. Ever so slightly sweetened, but not too much, because as I take a bite of the cake, I take a sip of the hot chocolate and it just, it fuses together in my mouth, and like I can taste the buttercream melting against the hot chocolate, and it's just, I love it.
I like the vibe. Yeah. I like the vibe. It's not something really I would go for, but I like the vibe. Yeah. And you know what I really like about supermarket, those Victoria sponge cakes? I don't know how they do it, because if you like ice and sugared a cake at home and put it in a box, the ice and sugar would kind of like dissolve in by the time you buy it. But when you buy it in the supermarket, no matter how long it's been, it's still like white dusty.
The thing is,
I love it.
It's lovely, but the fact that it can do that, it means that something problematic is going on. So I don't want to think about it too much, but no, it's a really, really nice warming combination, especially around this time of the year. Going into winter time, my mum used to give us hot chocolate just after school as a thing, and it just used to fill me up. I love it.
My hot drink combo is English breakfast tea, regular with custard creams. Custard cream is a good dunkable biscuit.
I was going to say, are you dunking and dipping?
It's a good dunkable biscuit, I will say. We can probably do a whole episode about
biscuits.
Well, I guess it's kind of like a controversial opinion, because people's controversial opinions are like, certain biscuits are not for dunking, certain biscuits are for dunking, certain biscuits are for this or that or the other. But a custard cream, I feel like it's not typically a dunker. But I do love a good dunk.
I like Dunkin' biscuits that have some kind of cream center.
It just softens.
Yeah.
Just make everything just.
I feel like it just melts, and it's it's
and
really
it doesn't
nice.
get too involved in the tea. What I don't like is when you're dipping stuff in. People who dip chocolate covered biscuits in tea, I don't understand.
Can't lie to you, that used to be a bit of me. A chocolate digestive, and like the chocolate is melting, and I love it.
I just don't like the tinge it gives the tea. Like, I like what it does for the biscuit, but some people will dunk and then they don't ever finish the tea, or it's not really about the tea, it's just part of
That's me. Yeah. That's me. By the time I'm done, I'm just drinking it just to finish it off.
No, I still want it to taste like tea.
Yeah. So that feeling that I have when I dunk biscuits into tea is the same thing that I have when I have like a pureed soup with a crusty bread. So like a potato soup with bread, or a courgette soup with bread. I like the soup, but what really does it for me is the bread, and just like dip it, which is why I try not to have bread with soup, because I will have as much bread as is needed to soak up the soup. 100%. Yeah, but it has to be a pureed soup. So I'm not gonna have bread with like a broth.
No.
It has to be thick enough that it will hold onto the bread. It will like
scoopable,
stick onto the bread.
Scoopable.
Yeah, a good pureed soup with bread. Butter. Are you having garlic bread? How do you feel about garlic bread with soup?
Yeah, because I've got a recipe, and I'll link it in the show notes, for my garlic focaccia with my pumpkin soup from the pumpkin that I picked at the pumpkin patch like last year, I think, or maybe the year before.
Sounds quite nice.
Yeah, so garlic on the bread, rosemary garlic. Yeah, like the bread can be. Yeah,
I love that.
Give me flavour.
Pureed soup with bread, one of my favourite combinations, but because the bread is rarely ever gluten free that I want, it's not something that I have too often. What I would recommend if you're not gluten free is those part bake rolls that you can get. I love those because they're like fresh out of the oven, they're crusty, they're warm. If not, I would also recommend the ciabatta rolls. because they give a similar experience.
Is that what you sent me the other day?
Yeah, the Shah gluten-free. If you're gluten-free, the Shah ciabatta rolls. I think I get the brown ciabatta rolls, and it has a similar type of experience.
Bake at home.
Bake at home. Has a bit of a crust. Holds up nicely against a good pureed soup.
My bread of choice, which I completely agree with you. If you leave this bread with me unattended, there's just going to be me left when you come back. Yeah. The bread's going to be done. A tiger baguette with good butter, like also room temperature, not just good, but room temp. Yeah. Even on a warm day with extra salt.
Yeah.
It was at Duck and Waffle, but it wasn't.
I was gonna say Duck and Waffle, but then I was thinking maybe
it wasn't with you. But you're right. It is at Duck and Waffle, and they give you basically like a whole sourdough, and it's already cut into 4, and it's hot, and you open it. And it's just like the amount of crust. Yeah. The amount of crust. Oh, with the butter. And then I think it's with rosemary as well, actually. Any crunchy, crispy, crusty bread with a good butter and extra salt.
I love a crusty bread. What I didn't used to appreciate was a hard footback sourdough. I'm not into that. But see, like a good crusty bread with a nice soft center. That's something that's not going to cut up the roof of my mouth. I feel like there's a way that you can get a nice crust on the bread without it being lethal. And potentially life-threatening.
I think you might think the Duck and Waffle one is lethal.
Really? I don't like it when it's like crusty and it's cutting me up. But I do love a good fresh French baguette with a good rich butter. And what I actually really enjoy is either like just a good jam or preserve or cheese. And if I want to take it one step further, I actually like cheese, mustard, and like cornichons, what have you call them? Yeah, I really like that.
Girl, you fancy.
Yeah, really, really like that. Me and my mum went through a phase. This is actually just before my gluten intolerance got out of control. Yeah. And I think I was probably aggravating my system because she would go up the roads and she'd get a fresh French baguette nearly every single day, and we would like split it and we'd have half of it with some butter. I don't know what we was thinking.
After school?
No, I was like in uni at this time. I knew better.
Just a little mother daughter.
She said, but it's fresh. Obviously, it's not going to have an impact. That's when my mum was making a diagnosis that she knew nothing about. But she said, because it's fresh, I should be okay. And I miss those days because I do love when you go to the bakery and the bread is still warm. Oh, gosh. So good. I love that. One of my favourite combinations is something that my friend Christabel does for me when she is in a good mood. I may never get this again. No, she will make it again, but she hasn't made it for a little while. And this is her fried rice. She's Nigerian. Christabel's fried rice with Christabel's stew and coleslaw, but it has to be the coleslaw from the shop because she doesn't make the coleslaw from scratch. Or she gets like a salad pot and she puts we put salad cream on it. But a plate of that food, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I love it when it's like late at night and I've gone round to collect my containers, but I have a plate before I leave. That specific scenario, I said to her the other day, she doesn't love me because she hasn't made it for a very long time. But Christabel's fried rice, 10 out of 10 with the stew. And it's just like, she puts ginger in her stew.
We said this about the jollof rice.
Oh, it's just so nice. And then like the little bit of salad cream on the side. It's just lovely. Absolutely love it.
And what does it do for you? Like, do you have to be in the right mood to pair with that pairing? Or does it bring you to, does it just, wherever you are? Does it
I love it.
Where you are?
I love it so much that when she does it, it's exciting. Okay. But actually, I think what it probably is rooted in is when I came back from America, and the day that I came back from America, my brother took me to Christabel's house and we were just chilling and she had made it and I just hadn't had it for so long, and she doesn't cook a lot. Christabel's range in cooking is very much, she likes jollof rice, she likes stew, she likes rice, plantain, a bit of plantain on the side. But this combination, when she does it, and she does it so well, it's just perfect. It's the best fried rice. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I have a white rice and gravy combination on my list, but you've just reminded me of also my shepherd's pie and coleslaw.
Oh yeah, you had that the other day.
Shop bought coleslaw. It has to just be the one I even had it with the other day was leftovers from Domino's.
Oh,
I ordered a pizza and it came with a deal, so I just picked a side. And then the next day I was like, I'm going to make a shepherd's pie to eat this coleslaw. The coleslaw is almost the main, and the shepherd's pie is just...
It's a side.
I love white rice and gravy. We spoke about rice at length in our last episode. If you haven't checked that out. But just like long grain white rice with the gravy from my mum's ribs.
Okay.
At this time of the year, when my dad's not around, but Dad has to not be around.
Oh, because he doesn't eat the pork.
He doesn't eat pork. So it's like when it's just me, my mum, or growing up when it just be my mum, like a couple nights when he'd be working late or something, we'd eat pork. So she would either do like crackling pork with a butternut squash, so just both things roasted.
Oh yes. Or
she'd do a ribs and rice. And my dad has to not be around because there's no vegetables.
Oh gosh, okay.
It's ribs and rice. But even so, my mum, if I'm in a mood or if I'm in a bad mood, she's like, come home, baby. Yeah. Ribs and rice, come home.
Oh,
come home, ribs and rice. So but it's the gravy specifically with the rice. Because obviously I'm numbing off the ribs separately. What's actually going on that fork is not really rib meat. It's just rib gravy and rice,
I like, there's a gravy if you go to like a Jamaican party or something, they always make a sauce to go with the fried chicken.
Yeah.
And I like that sauce. It's kind of like gravy tomato based kind of thing. Yeah, it's a concoction. And sometimes they like fry off onions and tomatoes and peppers to kind of make the sauce. That sauce with white rice and coleslaw, I used to love that when my auntie would do catering and then maybe like a festival on the side, but I would just ask for a plate of rice and gravy with coleslaw, and I absolutely loved it. So I can completely understand.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
Slightly different notes. A combination. This is like an experiential combination that I love. Again, a champagne breakfast at the airport.
Oh,
absolutely love it. The earlier the flight, the better. If it's 6 a.m. in the morning, 7 a.m. in the morning, load me up. I want a good cocktail, mimosa or something. Airport breakfast can be hit and miss. The last one that I had that I quite enjoyed was Gordon Ramsay's airplane food or something like that. It's in Heathrow, I think like Terminal 5, when I was going to Lisbon. And I had avocados on toast. We had a mimosa. The price is obviously inflated, but for what it was, an airport breakfast, I actually really enjoyed it. It was quite nice. But there's just something about drinking at unholy hours. Once you get into airport territory, it's like no man's land.
100%.
Yeah, there is, what is time? All you need to care about is being at the gate at the right numbers on the clock so that you don't miss your flight. But in terms of like the concept and adherence to time, I do what I want when
and from
I want.
That point, you could be in that time zone, or you could be in the time zone of your destination.
Literally,
you could be anywhere. Like at this point, you could even get on a different plane. So you're in the cinematic universe at that point. Yeah, you're traveling between times.
Exactly. So at this stage, we're celebrating my departure. Yeah. I'm getting a cocktail with the breakfast because breakfast is what is available.
You know what you just said there is very interesting.
What?
Because I only do it going to the holiday.
Yeah. When you're coming home, you're coming like you're serious now. Life has slapped you up because it's time to go home, and the holiday blues are like creeping in through the door. No one's having cocktails at that airport.
I can't say as well that I've been to many countries that have the kind of airports that we have. Yeah. So like when I'm leaving New York or even America as a whole, it's usually a fast foodie kind of option. They don't really have many sit down places. When we just left Dominican Republic, they had a few spots, but nothing in comparison to what we have. It was more like a food court of chairs. And then like little places. When you're at Heathrow, you're like, "Hi, welcome to Wagamama's," and you're fully like, you could be inside Westwood at that point. Like, it's definitely a different experience.
Yeah, no, that is a combination. I literally look forward to it. I love a morning flight because it makes me feel like I'm getting more value for money on my holiday.
Yeah, longer day.
Yeah, the earlier I get there, the better. So when I know I've got a morning flight, I'm like, okay, we've got to get to the airport by this time because I need time to check in, do everything, and get breakfast. And then I love a little clink number on the old Insta story. Yeah, a nice champagne flute or a lovely breakfast cocktail. I love it.
We had a good one last time because it was a girls' trip, so it was like a good 4 people. Yeah, and we'll get hash browns on the side as well. Yeah. Oh, and extra avocado. Yeah. And then the little thing come on like meal to gate in 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a flight? We'll make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoy doing that too, but I think my incredible pairing, is my on-flight food, my care package that I take to where I'm going. I have to have Roundtree's fruit pastels for the whole ears.
Oh, okay. They say chewing gum is good for that too.
Yeah, but I just Roundtree fruit pastel. Yeah, I'm not really a sweeties girl otherwise, but a Roundtree fruit pastel on the plane and a bar of Milky Bar. Sometimes I don't even eat the Milky Bar. It's like an emotional support chocolate, just in case I don't like what's on the plane. I know I can eat this. I just love those 2 things on the plane. I don't know what it is.
I never really bring snacks onto the plane. I don't know why that is, and then I'm beholden to whatever crap they're going to give me on the plane. I tend to eat at the airport whilst I'm waiting.
Yeah. I'll eat.
Yeah.
But just in case when I'm going, and I'll also try and I'll always try and save some Roundtrees because I always will forget to get any hard sweet coming back.
Yeah.
So just for the ears thing.
Yeah.
So either buy Roundtrees or wine gums and just try and hold a few back just so that I can safely get back without popping my ears.
Okay. What I will do when I touch down though is I'll pick up a packet of Lay's. If I'm on a European holiday or wherever they're slinging Lay's, I'm picking up a packet of Lay's, and it's probably the paprika flavor. Or when I was in, is it black?
Oh, it's black barbecue?
I think black is barbecue. Yeah, I do like the barbecue as well. And then they had like an olive oil one when I went to Gran Canaria, and that was quite nice. But I do love a packet of Lay's in an international destination, something European.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do like a little actually short red Pringles for the plane as well.
Okay,
I think that's my little combo of
£2.40 on the flight.
Oh, I'm leaving W.H. Smith having spent like 17,
honestly?
18 pounds on 3 items, mate. That's the worst part. That's why I was kind of laughing at the beginning when you said that your family would fry chicken before you go on a plane, because back in the day, I feel like we used to do that because you could just do more on planes. Yeah. Like when I was younger, we used to pack up all kinds of stuff to take on the plane, especially when I was younger, because you got a child, just more fussy, you take what you want. But I just think as the rules have got stricter, you can still take your own food on the plane, but you just can't be bothered. Like you can't. The headache. Take it away.
You don't even want to take the risk.
Is it
anymore.
Liquid? Do they care? They're gonna open it. So just don't bother anymore. So I want to take a flight with your family if there's still fried chicken going on that plane.
Boy, it might have to be, because I missed that. That was so good. My travel thing that I love is M&S food at the train station. Any kind of national, and this is like national rail. This is where we're going, like UK global, baby. And I love when they've got an M&S food to go or anything like that. And I love to get M&S snacks. What's that?
I'm counting in my head how many are in King's Cross and Pancras Station.
There's a couple.
There's one right opposite Eurostar. There's one on the King's Cross platform side. I think there's just a Simply Food alone on the back of King's Cross Station. Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing. And you just get like a sandwich. I'll pick up some like Percy Pigs or something. Get myself a drink. Yeah, I love M&S food. Sandwich and crisps. That's another serious combo. Sandwich with crisps. I don't like a sandwich if I am ever indulging in a sandwich, especially one that's not gluten-free. It has to have the crunchy element of the crisp. I love cheese and onion crisps with any kind of sandwich. But yeah, taking a train, I'm stopping at M&S. I used to also, when I go through Euston a bit, I went for a phase of getting Burger King breakfast because I liked their little hash browns, and they had these little pancake things that came with syrup.
Girl!
I love them. Yeah.
Throwback. So an incredible pairing is a Burger King breakfast in a European airport.
Oh, really?
Because they still do all the good stuff that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the day, sorry about this, mama. But mom used to drop me to school, or she would drop me to the station. At the top of the station was a Burger King. It was the only thing that was really there in the morning was Burger King. And I don't really eat Burger King like that. Yeah. And somehow throughout the whole of high school, we spoke about this on toxic diet culture and relationship with food. Like, if I didn't like it, it wasn't bothering me. I didn't get sucked into chicken chips and whatever. I think a couple times I went to Burger King and I was just like, whatever, like seeing whatever. And then one day, when they haven't, back in the day, they used to have to manually flip the menus. So it was 3 p.m, but the breakfast board was still up. So it was after school, but I would see the breakfast board and I was like, are those mini Dutch pancakes? Yeah. In a bag. And they were so good. The next time my mum dropped me to the top of that hill to walk down to school, I said, guys, I'll be there in a minute. Best like chain fast food breakfast there was going. Yeah. They don't do it anymore. They had the little like croissant sandwich things. I don't remember. Did I have one? I think they were quite nice, and it was like sausage, egg. And they used to come and the little pot of sauce was in the bag and you could just dunk and just. I was obsessed with those. I was obsessed. They were really good. They actually had it in the bag. Did they still do them? No, not here. That's the little pancakes. I've seen them in the European. But in all fairness, okay, I can't say they don't. I haven't been to Burger King in a really long time. Me neither. And I definitely haven't been to a Burger King for breakfast, but I do like their little mini hash browns. There was a time not too long ago when I went through Euston Station and I just got I think I just got the hash browns and I really like them. So yeah, that's mine. M&S food on a national rail train. I got one more. Chinese food, take as greasy as possible with full fat, full sugar Coca-Cola. That sounds OD. Oh. Something about, and the kind of like plate that's just a bit too much. So you got fried rice, Singapore rice noodles, some kind of sweet and sour chicken, and crispy seaweed. All the sugars, all the salts. Yeah, crispy seaweed especially. All of that, and then you just eat it until you can't eat anymore. Yeah. And then you're like, you come up for air, and the air is Coca-Cola. I cannot drink Coca-Cola.
It literally makes my teeth feel funny.
I love me Coca-Cola.
No, I'll actually eat Chinese and drink water.
No, it's not to say it's a given.
Yeah,
it's just
but
an incredible pairing.
You like the pairing.
It's an incredible pairing.
Yeah. Can't relate. Because I don't like Coca-Cola, but I do love a good Chinese. I think my last one is sangria, sun, and seafood. That to me is like, that to me will always be a good holiday. It will always be a good vibe. Even if I'm in the UK and I'm making sangria and I can have like a seafood pasta, some kind of like grilled fish or prawn when the sun decides to come out. But sangria in the sun with a seafood dish, it just feels like vibes to me. I just feel like so opulent. I love it.
That's when I do feel like Malika and I'll have like a white sangria. The only time when I'm like, you know, like the pairing, white wine with seafood.
Yeah.
I'm not fussy. I don't know about wine. But if it's like, oh, you having wine? It's like, I am.
Yeah.
I am having a glass of white sangria with this bass.
Yeah, exactly.
With stone bass.
Prawn starter.
Yeah. I am actually. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, love it. Fantastic.
There are more incredible pairings, and maybe we'll part 2 this. We've part 2 some of our previous themes, like guilty pleasures, controversial opinions. We've been promising ourselves to revisit Branded is Better after our conversation on shrinkflation, so that might be coming. But I think next time we'll ask you guys ahead of our recording what your incredible pairings are, and then what does rip them to shreds?
Yeah.
What does rip them to shreds?
That
to be honest,
sounds awful.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Some of actions were not necessarily hitting to my
not for me. But I think it's where you live, the life you live, isn't
the life
it?
you
The
live
things you
and
love,
your experiences. So
yeah.
Thank you very much for listening to this quick and snappy little pairing. Let us know. We'll still put a poll up on the episode and also on Instagram what your incredible pairings are.
Yeah.
Come over to x.com and X us, tweet us. It's a tweet. Come on. Tweet us your incredible pairings and let us know what your vibes and feelings are. Thank you very much for listening and catch you next one.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.